how to build your best source of business, i.e. referrals. Rockstar referrals we've got on this panel. We're so excited about that because ultimately it's what everyone wants and needs right now, especially with the way the market's going, things happening. You know, you rely on these great referral sources. How do you build it? How do we get them? How do you maintain them? You know, things like that as we go through these different types of markets. So first and foremost, I want to kind of introduce myself here is Craig Northrup, owner-president of Northrup Realty. Be moderating today this great Rockstar panel. Excited to, we got some great questions. Also, love to hear from everyone in the chat. Where are you from? You know, and if there's questions throughout the presentation, feel free to ask. As we get to the end, we'll have some question and answers as well. So you'll be able to participate, and we'd love to hear from you, where you're from, things like that at that point. So ultimately there, if there's any questions or difficulties, stay on to the end of the slide, and then certainly technical services will help you with that. With that understood, we could not be doing this today without our incredible sponsor, Exact Contact, which Shannon's going to tell you a little bit about it. Shannon, how are you?
Great. Thanks so much, Craig.
Great. Welcome. Talk to us a little bit about this Exact Contact.
Yeah, absolutely. So Exact Contact is a real estate CRM, customer relationship management system. And what I wanted to present just before we jump into why this is such an important source of business, referrals, is just to set up a little bit of industry research. So according to T360, if anybody's familiar with them, they're a leading real estate research firm in North America. There are 4 types of personalities amongst agents. There's prospectors and converters. And I think, Craig, if you hit the button a couple times, we'll get all of the rest of our content on the slide here. It just has sort of activity in the background there. Perfect. Prospectors and converters, and networkers and marketers. And the prospector and converter type agents typically are sort of those hard driving salespeople. They're good at cold calling and talking to leads from various sources. They may have an auto dialer in place. And then on the flip side, the networkers and marketers are agents who prefer to build relationships and get most of their business through referrals and repeat business. And so if you're sort of more on that prospector converter side, that hard, high energy, hard driving salesperson, you might enjoy chasing leads, but 85% of agents are actually falling into the networker and marketer category, according to the research done by T360. Craig, can we have a slide?
Yep, you got it.
Awesome. So the thing with being in that networker and marketer category, you're sort of in that higher percentage of the agents, and that's the agents that Exact Contact is helping with their business through repeat marketing and making sure that nobody in your sphere of influence ever falls through the cracks. So we're really keeping agents in tune with what they're best at, with things like their personality, your strengths, how you want to spend your workday. Is it meant to be is your workday, do you want to set up your workday so that you're cold calling and using an auto dialer, or do you want to set it up so that you've got that marketing and repeat and referrals coming back to you? And so that relationship building process is more ideal. Of course, we're talking more on that networker and marketer side of the equation there, the prospectors and converters versus the networkers and marketers. And that's where Exact Contact is really helping agents. You don't have to necessarily be purchasing leads and working a business in that way if you're working your relationship building skills. And ultimately, the more people that you know, like, and trust, the more people will refer people back to you.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's sort of me just setting up that little bit of industry knowledge and research as we jump into our topic on getting more business from referrals.
All right, let's dive. Here we go. So that was Shannon McGee, who is a sales director, and actually we've invited her. She did such a great job there. We invited her on the panel. So we're actually bringing her on the panel as well. We're excited to have her. Thank you, Shannon, for all of that. There, I want to introduce our other panelists here. Very excited to have Michael Dumas. How are you, Michael?
Doing great, thank you. Excited to be on this panel. Excited to share some great information today, coming to you from sunny Tampa, Florida, wherever you may be cold, but we're nice and hot. So great place to be. Everybody's coming to Florida, so be next. Come on and join us. We know a lot of great realtors around here to help you find a house.
Absolutely. I say from Maryland, you know, one out of every three people I move there for the weather. So the weather's dynamite, huh?
It's beautiful. We're in our first summer. We got our next season, which is love bug season and pollen season, but those are coming up. But right now it's summer already. Give me
Love
90.
bug season. Love bug season. I think we should all fall in love with our clients. We've already solved the referral business. We're good.
There you go.
I love it. I love it. Well, Michael, I'm excited to hear a lot from you as well. I'm going to meet our other panelists. Dawn, Beth, how are you, Dawn?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Dawn.
Coming to you from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And yep, Michael, it's really nice out. Actually, well, it's raining today, but I'm the owner and founder and president of My State MLS. We're a nationwide multiple listing service. I am also a real estate appraiser, real estate broker, and an investor. So I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I've probably been in every aspect of real estate: commercial, residential, listing service, brokerage, appraising, you name it, I've done it.
I love it. And the neat thing about this is I've gotten the true pleasure, got to know all of you prior to this. And so we've had some great conversations, and I'm going to tell you, this audience is going to get amazing nuggets out of today. So I know they're waiting for, let's make it happen. We are going to roll here, ladies and gentlemen. So let me dive us right into really our first question that I know everyone, all inquiring minds want to know very simply is, what activities do you do every day that help you build and deepen your relationships with your clients? I mean, we all talk about being relationship agents. We all talk about, activities and how do we build our databases, which I call that, there's gold in those hills, them gold mines that we all sit on, our sphere of influences. But how do we deepen our relationships? How do we dig deeper in that? So we're going to start, Dawn, with you. Give us a little feel of how you do that.
Well, I think the first and best way is to really care about your clients and what they're going through, and always try to be there for them and help them in whatever they have to deal with in any way that you can. So if you're talking about keeping in touch with past clients, which, you can do that through social media, you can do that through email, but you should really do it through direct contact. And I really think that staying on the phone with them is a great way to do that. I also think that if you have clients in the business world, then you should attend things like your Chamber of Commerce meetings and their networking meetings, where you can be face to face with the people who refer you all the time.
Right. Well, that's great. You know, they say mask off, Maryland, right now. Our masks have come off. We love and seeing the smiles. It's, these networking, the chamber, we tend to forget about the chambers, sadly, as realtors. And I think it's a great point to your point. Get back to the chambers, get back to these networking groups. We want to see people. We're a people business. We have souls. We sell houses, right? We want to be out there and kind of mix and mingles. I mean, touching your database is probably the most important thing. And you mentioned the most important first, you got to care. Care first, right? And I say to close the sale, you got the 3 C's. Care first. You got to be consistent in your marketing messages. You got to be consistent with that and be confident as well. If you lose that C in close, that's where you lose the sale. So yeah. I always say that first.
Craig, you have to be genuine. You have to really, if you don't care, don't be in this business.
Absolutely. Well said. Drop the mic on that, Dawn. Bam, right there. Done. Michael, this is a hard act to follow, man. Tell me what's going on in your world. How are you doing this?
So I lead a team of 40 amazing agents here in Tampa, and they're pretty successful because we plan. That's the next thing you got to do. You got to really be organized with your approach. You're not going to touch everybody every day. That's just not possible. You don't have enough time in the day. So you need to really plan and create up front before you even think about the people you need to touch. You need to think about, what do you want to do with them? How are you going to communicate to them? Are you going to send them emails? Are you going to send them texts and phone calls and meet them for lunch? Whatever you're going to do, have a plan, so that way when somebody comes into your sphere of influence, when you meet somebody, you can say, hey, this person would work good in this setup. I need to do these tasks with them and stay in communication, whether it's once a week, once a month, once a year, whatever it is, but have a good plan. That's how my team really is successful, because they follow a plan. I think it's great. And then yes, I'm going to back Dawn up on this one. If you don't care, get out. We have so many agents right now that it doesn't feel like they do, and we struggle with that. And there's a lot of really good agents. Go find the good agents, go find the good customers, and you're going to be very successful in this real estate industry.
Let me tell you this, the new normal sellers want a game plan, period. People
Yeah.
want a plan. They want to know that you're organized. They want to know you're authentic. They want to know you care first. Again, they don't care what you know until they know that you care, and it's very important to know that. So great advice, guys. Phenomenal already. We just got the first question. But Shannon, bring us home with any thoughts there. I know you've got the business side already, but personally, how are you doing it as well?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking at Exact Contact, we're talking to real estate agents every day about what are they doing in their business, where are they struggling in their business, and then helping them with putting systems in place. Like Michael said, having a plan. Well, a good system behind that can have automated reminders for you for what are those activities I need to do tomorrow. So you're not getting up in the morning and scrambling and trying to figure out, I'm looking at a spreadsheet, trying to remember, oh, who did I talk to last week and who should I talk to this week? If you've got the right tools in place, then that planning is that much easier, and that consistent communication becomes a lot easier to manage.
Consistency, again, care, consistency, and being confident in all your messages. Again, they're your 3 C's. You guys you outlined that well. Phenomenal there. As we kind of enter into the next question, what activities do you do every day sorry, we just did that there. I apologize. Next one. Sorry. Do you consistently track your daily activities? And if so, how does that help you with your business? So I guess the question first is, and I'm going to start with ultimately Michael, do you consistently track your daily activities? And then if so, how does that help you with your business, Michael?
Well, I have a saying that if you fail to plan, if you don't plan your work, you're going to fail to plan. Period. You've got to do the same things over and over.
Fail to plan. Love it. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's too many moving parts in our business, and you'll get busy with showings, or you'll get busy with trying to close a property, and you'll forget that there are people that you need to reach out to grow your pipeline. And if you don't have that system every day of reaching into the people that you need to touch, and that should be the first thing you do. That should be part of your consistent daily activity. I teach my team a system that we call the Sand Peak Sevens. It involves planning and organizing and marketing and networking and prospecting every day. And again, Shannon said it's a system. If you don't have a good system, you're going to do okay in this business, but you're not going to do great. The best, highest paid producers have phenomenal systems in place to help them do the small task every day. That it's a reminder. I mean, we all forget all the time.
We're all talking about systems, Michael. And so when did you start incorporating systems? And then how do you get people to follow those systems?
Well, I started incorporating systems immediately when I started my brokerage in 2013. I started putting them in place because I recognized that. It's hard to get agents to change their habits. So it's a lot of training and a lot of just repetition and baby steps to get them into that process. The setup for this is an immense amount of work. But once it does it, and you see that, hey, somebody reaches out to you because an email went out that you didn't even have to send, the system sent it for you, whatever your CRM or whatever it does, that'll really motivate you. Like, oh my gosh, I just got a lead and I didn't do anything about it. That's how you get people and real estate agents to do this over and over again, is when they start to see those results. But up front, it's just a lot of work. You got to put the time in. You either spend a lot of money or spend a lot of time in real estate, and that's how you do the business.
And what do they say the best CRM is?
Exactly. So we use
the one you will use.
The one you use, right? I love it. Everybody was looking for the next new sexy thing. It's the one you use. I love that, Michael. Thank you there, Shannon. You probably have this already built in this company that you're talking about, right? Is this some feature that you have already?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's multiple features that determine which things you're getting reminders for, whether it's reminders for different tasks, about coordinating your listing activities, or whether it's automated reminders for who to follow up with today based on the last time you talked to them. Like, it's been 2 weeks, call Bob again. There's a system that included in the tool that makes it a lot easier. So agents don't have to create those reminders themselves. It actually is already sort of pre-planned and it helps them out.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Dawn, bring us home on this question.
Well, actually, I had someone very organized teach me early that you block out your day with every day. So you start with your whole week and you say, Monday for these 2 hours, and you put that right in your calendar. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to have some free time for myself. And then the next day, and you have that whole thing blocked out for the whole week. And you don't have to 100% stick to it, but what it does is when you find yourself lost and just looking around for that thing that you were supposed to do, you can go back to your calendar and go, okay, for these 2 hours, I was supposed to be doing X. And, or, I was supposed to be making calls, or I was supposed to be, writing up contracts, whatever that is. And so if you start off with a calendar, an electronic calendar that you use all the time, then you can write notes in there about how you did that. And then also, like, if you're using your CRM, then you would be able to keep track of that. So the CRM has a calendar in it, and you can actually, in most CRMs I've seen, they connect to the Google Calendar if that's what you use. So you would want to do that, but it's very important to have something to do when you have nothing to do. Otherwise, you just waste your time playing a video game or doing something stupid that doesn't make you any money. And then by the next thing you look down and you're like, oh my God, the day is over, and all I did was play a video game or something. So it's best to plan your day if you want to be productive.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Look, 2 hours a day, 2 hours, we call it Touch Base Tuesday. 2 hours, touch base with your whole clientele, your database. Ironically, in February, we have names for each month. We call it Focus Forward February. This is March Market Madness. But with February, it was 2/22/22, right? It was actually all twos. At 2 o'clock, everyone that I met, I gave $2 bills the whole day. And it was really kind of cool what $2 bills will do. I had a lot of people come see me. I put a social media post out and everybody wanted a $2 bill. They even asked for their kids. It was good stuff. Like, that's the kind of stuff that you want to do to kind of keep doing that way. And then touching your databases. We have a newsletter every week that we're touching our database every week. And then ultimately the next day, we track everyone that's looking at a database, how long they've looked at it, what properties they're looking at. I mean, my mother's been doing this for like 45 years. I've been doing it for 35. So 80 years of database building. And we're blessed to be able to do almost 100,000 people a week that we're touching, which is fantastic. Wow. So these are just some kind of neat things there that we're all doing there. So let me dive on to the next question here. What do you do to help you keep your mindset in the right place? Oh my gosh, mindset. I don't know. It starts with M. Michael, mindset. Talk to me about mindset. All the distractions. We had COVID. We've had all kinds of different things come our way thrown this year. And so what helps you to do to keep your mindset in the right place right now?
Lots of organization, planning, writing it out. I carry a journal every day with me that I write. I like the Tom Ferry 10-10-10. 10 things that I'm thankful for, 10 things that I need to work on, and 10 motivational quotes to keep me focused. Sales is a mind game. It's all it is. It's all between the ears. Every sale is here. It's not out there. It's right here. You've got to be positive. You've got to have a lot of energy. You got to love what you do. And the mindset is every day I get up and I get to meet new people. That's what I love the most about this. I'm a people person like everybody else. I like to get out and talk to people, meet people. That's the best. The paperwork, whatever, we got to deal with it. But it's meeting the people. That's what you just got to be driven. You got to be that type A personality. And you got to be crazy to be in this industry too, because it's
crazy.
We all know that. You don't get sleep. You answer your phone at 11 o'clock at night and 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're out to dinner, and buyers want to go see a house, and you got to go now. It's just the business, and it's fun though. It's the most reward. It's my second best job I've ever had. So I love doing this job. It's fantastic. So
Michael, it shows without a doubt. You know, one seller once asked me, they said, Craig, are you a full-time agent? I said, no, ma'am. I'm an all-the-time agent. Big difference, right? Because we're always available for our clients, especially when you care the way that we all do on this panel for our clients. Michael, well said there. Shannon, bring us home mindset-wise. I mean, you're dealing with realtors all day. We got clients, you got realtors. So hold on. I'm not sure.
The realtors are our clients. Yeah. We're talking to all those crazy realtors that Michael's talking about. And I think from a sales perspective, any salesperson, whether you're in real estate or software or retail, whatever your position is, keeping yourself motivated, I think it helps, like Dawn said, to be organized, right? To have that plan in place so that when you do get distracted or you do feel like, I don't really want to do this right now, it's like, nope, doesn't matter. 2 o'clock is an hour of call block. Like, you got to sort of chunk it down and make it easier to manage for yourself. One of the biggest reasons that salespeople don't pick up the phone is because they can't remember what to talk about, or they're kind of embarrassed of like, oh God, it's been 6 months since I talked to this guy. I should probably think of what to say. And if you've got the right tools in place, like a CRM or whatever system you're using, you can look back at that contact record and say, oh, well, the last time I talked to them, they were planning the daughter's wedding. Looks like the daughter's wedding happened last month. I'm going to call and ask how the wedding was. So it just stands out. And I've done that in my career in different industries. And it always was the thing that helped me stand out and stay motivated, was that I knew if I called and I said like, oh, hey, how was the wedding? Was it good weather at the cottage? That they were amazed that you remembered that. And if you've got the right tools in place, then it's easier to do that follow up, and it's easier to stay motivated because you know how that conversation is going to go.
Right. You go to the Ritz for level of service, right? You go to different places. You go back to restaurants, habit forming because of the way they make you feel. It's that same concept, to your point. I love that. It really is amazing. We're very habit forming people, ironically, right? We end up doing what kind of is, it's a muscle memory, we call that. So very good point, Shannon, on that. Dawn, talk to me. How do we help, mindset right now with everything going on?
Well, generally for me, I'm a happy person. I wake up in the morning and I see the sun is shining, even if it's not. And I always see the glass is full. It's not even half full. My glass is always full. And I think that it's all about your attitude in life. But I'm a person who believes that I can make money and I can have fun at the same time. And even though I never once thought of anything I've ever done as work. And while I was in college, I waitress sometimes 12-hour shifts because I needed the money to pay my way through college. And I even thought of that as fun. You can't go into it like, oh, I have to do this. Oh my God, I don't want to do this. If you do that, forget it. Get out, go home, go hide under the covers. You have to go every day. My glass is full. You have to tell yourself, I'm happy today. Everything I do is going to be fun. And even when I said you have to block out things on your calendar, block out some time for fun. What do you think is fun?
What's interesting? I mean, everything you just said is fabulous. 97% of our thoughts are negative, by the way, which is challenging. So I challenge all of us to stop listening to ourselves and start talking to ourselves, right? Start talking to the points about what's so great about the world out there, and make real estate fun. I love fun. Dawn, you're fun. You can see how much fun. I mean, man, I love to work with you because it's fun. It's, it's embroidery. I call it, time and energy is worth more than money. Okay, make that very clear. Time and energy is worth more than money. And with that, we all buy as real estate agents called E&O insurance. E&O insurance, right? We do that to protect ourselves. Well, what if E&O stood for energy and optimism? And if everyone had the energy and optimism out there, imagine what this world would look like. And I always say, pay it forward. So I challenge the audience that's watching, what do you do to help you keep your mindset in the right place? I'd love to hear in the chat a little bit of sort of that thing. What are you doing with all the distractions and things like that? Waking up happy, to Dawn's point, to game plans, to, getting yourself more in the zone, they say. So I do challenge the audience to that, to hear. So hopefully there's some comments about that, and I'm sure we'll hear that at the end that way. So with that there, I want to kind of keep us going, because you guys are just energizing me. I'm energized to max. We are going to go to the next question. How had the past 2 years, 2 years, wow, 2 years, it went fast, right? Helped you build your business by referral. Now, if I had to reflect on the last 2 years, I would say that we've been in a pandemic. Ultimately started within about the last 2 weeks from today, ironically, and around that time frame. And so literally the past 2 years, how has, have you helped build your business by referral? Because guess what? We weren't able to see people. We got shut down. We couldn't even go out of our houses. We had to quarantine somewhere. People have lived in their house more than they ever have. People have appreciated their house more than they ever have. The average person doesn't live in their house that much because we're out working, playing, or whatever we're doing. And we've had to actually learn, where do we want to quarantine next kind of conversation. That's sort of what this pandemic has done for us. Now, referrals have become even bigger conversation because we're not being able to meet them personally, face to face. Networking, we talked about that. We got shut down. They stopped doing them. Then we got masks. We couldn't even see anybody. Hello, how are you? It reminded me of the guy with the fence. I forgot somebody else can tell me who it is, but the guy with the fence always kept his nose right over that fence. Home Improvement. There you go. It was a show way back. I'm dating myself now. But irrelevant to that, Dawn, kick us off with this. What do you got, Dawn? What's the thoughts?
Well, 2 years ago, when we first got shut down, I thought, and I was in New York at the time because I have property in New York as well. And when I was there, I felt like time stopped. Like literally, time just stood still. And it was something new for me because I'm always running and ready to go. And that gives me, energy and juice. And at first it was extremely depressing, and I'm not a depressed person, and I don't like to feel like that. So I had to look for other ways to see my glasses full, because that's how I live my life.
Love it.
So obviously, I run an internet business, so I'm very tech savvy, and I learned to make relationships online. But as soon as things even opened up a little, I got back to networking, even if it was with a mask, and I hated that, by the way, the mask part, not the networking part.
Anybody like that? I'd love to hear the chat. Anybody like the mask? That's always the toughest sales, to have the mask.
No, but for me, time like stopped in the last 2 years, and I relaxed more than I ever have in my life. And I guess you could say it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because once you've been sort of down and out for 2 years, it's hard to come back. And it's very hard to kickstart again. So I'm finding that with a lot of people, it's like, oh man, I've gotten into this routine where I don't even get dressed every day. I'm in my pajamas and I just don't care. And that's sad and depressing, but you have to push forward. It's time for us to get up and go now. Let's get back to where we were. And in a few weeks, you won't even hopefully remember how bad it was.
That's phenomenal advice. I love that. Shannon, we'll go to you. Talk to us a little bit about this. In the last 2 years, how have you built your business by referral?
Yeah, Exact Contact as a business, we're always building our business by referrals. Our clients have a referral reward. Anybody who signs up that refers their friend, they get 2 months free. So there's an incentive there. But I think just in terms of talking to agents about how they're working their business, especially now with people being hesitant about who they're out and about with and who are you networking with and who's in your bubble. Maybe things are opening up a bit more, but especially near the beginning of the pandemic, people were concerned about who they were in touch with, like actually, in a room with. And so it was becoming more and more apparent that people were that much more likely to do business, whether it's repeat or referral, with people that they already know, like, and trust. So if they've done business with you, or if you've built a relationship there, that people were more likely to come back to you or recommend you to a friend. People were asking more for referrals. Well, who did you use to sell your house? Like, oh my God, we're stuck in this house. We need a bigger house. Who did you use to find your bigger house? And they were asking their friends and family members. So through conversations with our clients, that's what we were hearing, was that, these are people that I've been talking to for years that I thought would never sell their house. And all of a sudden they're thinking like, oh my God, this condo is tiny. Get me out of here. And they were asking their friends and family members about,
I love it. No, like,
who
and
did you
trust.
use to sell your house? Yeah.
I love it. No, like, and trust. Love it. And you're right, to a point where is referrals actually become bigger because we're not in contact with many others. So guess what? It actually isolated the referrals. Love that. Good stuff. Michael.
So I would say that we're in two facts. Yes, 2 years ago we were doing we were just starting the pandemic. Actually, it was March of 2020, I think, was when we first started going in. We went through that first phase of, oh my gosh, the world is shutting down. Will we ever sell another house again? And then we started to come out of it a little bit, and everybody, yes, wanted to, who are you reaching out to? Who do you know? It was, you weren't doing open houses. You weren't getting online lead calls anymore. The market's just, and now what's really changed is we're in one of the hottest, quote unquote, markets we've ever had. And I would also say, as a real estate agent, it's one of the hardest markets to sell in, because we have a saying here in Florida that there's probably more people with Florida real estate licenses than driver's licenses. It feels that way. So you're having lots of competition. There's not a lot of houses. Prices are skyrocketing. What do you do? So you really do have to dig into, that's what we did. Got my team. Let's dig into the people that we know. Who do you know, and be a resource for them. That's the big thing with when you're talking about referrals. It's not just communicating to them. Do you bring them value? So that way, when they're ready to buy or sell a house, or somebody that they know is ready to buy or sell a house, hey, use Dawn, because she is the most knowledgeable person we know in this area. She's the one, she's top of mind. That's what this really is. Referral just means top of mind. And there's a lot of noise. Everybody's email inbox is full every day. The mailboxes are starting to fill up with postcards again. So you have to be creative in your referrals. It's who I know. It's the best way to get business. It's who I know and who knows me. And are you staying top of mind? That's really what we shifted towards, is let's get to the people that we know more so than the people that we don't. It's a lot cheaper to do that way too. I'd rather take somebody out to lunch than spend, $5,000 on a postcard campaign that I may get one lead. I guarantee you, I take $5,000 worth of lunches out there, I'm going to get a lot of business. So that's kind of where we went with it. We shifted to almost a full referral business based model.
I always say the challenge of any of who I challenge all my agents that work for us is you should be able to walk in a room without a name tag and people should know your name.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's the challenge, right? At the end of the day, when we were opening offices, we would challenge the agents. We'll take you to dinner, but here's the rule. You got to meet 5 new people, introduce yourself, talk to them a little bit. And then once you did that and hand them your cards, then you can sit down and we'll have dinner together, right? So it's kind of like getting a little bit more out there, and so I always say how you practice is how you play. So when we went through this, we actually went through it together as North of Realty family. We kind of got together. We did Zoom. I'm kind of zoomed out though, man. So there's a lot, I really need that personal interaction. I think energy draws from interaction. Technology is good. It got us through it, with our Manaports and all the things we did. I even did my first FaceTime listing. I've never done a FaceTime listing in my life in 35 years, and I did one. I couldn't believe it. And she was 80 years old. 80 years old doing FaceTime. I was so impressed that we actually pulled that off. And then my first time out, I call it when they let the dogs out, who let the realtors out. We actually got to houses and they let you go back into houses. My first client that I met in a listing appointment that, walk in, you got the mask, you got the, all the good stuff there. And, you got the foot good, all this stuff. And we sit down at the table and we do the listing. She signs the paperwork and she goes, just stay for a couple minutes. Please just talk to me because I miss human interaction. And it was so sad to me that it resonated so much that people just need that right now. They just need it. They need kindness. They need the trust, and they need authenticity, to your point, Dawn, right? It's just what's needed at this point. So one of the things I did too back then is, I would get dressed every day so that the habit wouldn't go away. So I got dressed for every Zoom. I always looked like this. I just consistently did that. And then what I started doing, actually, what the pandemic did, is I wrote handwritten notes every day. I call it Rise and Thrive, right? 5 handwritten notes every day to my databases or to my clients or to somebody, so that, right then, guess what? Guess what the most exciting event when you're quarantined at home? Running to the mailbox because you can't see other people. So the mailbox became a pretty hot item through the pandemic. So anyway, the handwritten notes went a long way through that. Obviously, a lot of that comes from Buffini's, which we believe in North of Realty as well. So just give you a little feel of that, and we're going to keep going here. Hold on here as we go. We're going to go to the next question, and that is, how are we using the current market conditions to help you stay in the forefront of your clients' minds? Very good question here, and Jen, I'm going to have you start with us. Talk a little bit about that, because obviously it's part of what your business is. Contact is your second part of your name of your company. So how do you do that?
Yeah, so we're helping agents to stay in front of their clients with things like monthly email newsletter, drip email campaigns, reminders to send text messages. And we believe like a reminder to send a text message is better than an automated text message, because in that moment, you can send a mass text message to the right group of people, but you're formulating it in that moment. And text message is a great way to reach out and convey sort of your emotion in that moment rather than an automated text message. So just all of those tools to make it easy for the agents to stay top of mind with communication pieces going out to their clients, whether they're sending them themselves or whether it's something that's automated. Being that agents are so busy right now with the way the market is, having some of those automated pieces going out in the background, monthly email newsletter, email card for a move-in anniversary, right? Those nice personalized touch points, having those things going out and landing in people's inboxes, like you said. I think people are actually checking their email more than they previously have been, because they're looking for some kind of interaction. And when it's an interaction that's directly in line with their business, directly in line with their relationship previously with that realtor, it's just, again, staying top of mind by making sure that communication is consistent.
Love it. Great. Michael, want to elaborate on that?
Sure. I would add to what Shannon's talking about with that staying top of mind. We started to use a lot of video and pictures. We have our picture in every piece of market, and I know most people are like, oh, I don't want to do video. I don't like the way I look on video, whatever. Trust me, we know what you look like. We see you every day. Trust me. You're your worst critic. You're between your ears is your worst critic. Get it out. It's amazing how exponentially people remember you with video and just putting your picture on stuff. It should be on your email signature. It should be on everything that you do. So that's really one of the top ways to stay top of mind right now. And that's the key. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of competition. So you have to be creative. If you want to thrive in this business, you have to work it. And there's also a difference between being busy and productive. And a lot of agents are busy, but they're not productive agents. And the productivity comes in, is it measurable? Are they tasks that you're doing? It's the planning, it's all the stuff we're talking about. But mixing with that with some fun. I mean, we do giveaways, we do events in our downtown. We just did a dessert stroll for Valentine's Day. We had several hundred people through, giving away little cookies, and we'll do a wine stroll, or we'll do other things to keep, again, it's all about keeping yourself in front of everybody. And it's fun. I mean, that's a great time. People remember us. Dude, drawings are a phenomenal way to stay in touch with people. So
I love it.
Just gotta be creative. That's it. Be creative. Have fun.
Be creative. Creative is the new energy, to be honest. And Winston Churchill said it best. Some people dream of success while others wake up and work hard at it. And I think we are our own problems and we're our own solutions, right? We are the problem and we are the solutions. And most importantly, just do it, right? At the end of the day, we don't do that enough, and I think that's important. And very, very good points, Michael. And so, Dawn, you want to elaborate further?
Yeah, we're using video, a lot of video. I'm totally with Michael on that. We are using video and making them and putting them up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And what we're doing with these videos is we're boosting them. And we're getting a lot of success with that, believe it or not. there's one of the agents in our office. She recently got some listings, some like new construction listings and things like that. And she boosted them on Facebook. And for spending less than like $100, she got over 30 leads on them. And I know that right now it's easy to get buyers and hard to get listings. I totally get that. But I don't know that that's going to be forever. Now that things get back to normal, I think people are going to be like, oh, it's time I can sell my house now, or I want to capitalize on how much money I made and cash out. So I think that using video and sharing it on social, Instagram and Facebook, and spending just, you don't have to spend a lot of money, but just spend a little bit of money, but you should know how to target those ads. And if you don't, there are a lot of really good videos. And the things that you should do in the videos are education and entertainment, because that's really all anybody cares about. So you either need to be educational or you should be fun. Now, for me, video was tough to get into because before I was in real estate, I was a disc jockey. I was on the radio, and you know, as people, people are on the radio for a reason, or at least they think that. So, you kind of you come into a completely different world now, but you have to, like Michael said, you have to be okay with it. That's how you look. And there's filters.
I love it. Education and fun. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with videos. One thing that we did, we knew that in the pandemic, people would be watching TV. So we did things like we created commercials. We took these kids with like the Seinfeld. Remember the old Seinfeld episodes? We actually have kids that model each character of Seinfeld, and we call them the closers. And they would go into different situations. Like the new commercial we showed in the Super Bowl this year was they wanted to sell a school. You can't sell a school, but you know why? It has a good gym. It's got a movie theater. You got all kinds of things for a school, but kind of fun stuff like that. And at the end, he goes 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, because last year we sold like 1,200 plus homes in 1 week or less. And so what we created from that by running that through the pandemic is that I will go to restaurants, they'll just go 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, and it's really kind of catching on. So that 1 week theme, and I'll give you an example of that real quick. So video wise, I did 2 video shoots today at houses, okay? Because I believe in videos as well. And so I was at these 2 houses, and one of the first house I went to was one of my sellers getting to go on the market on Thursday. And she came up to me and she goes, Craig, my neighbor came up to me and said, congratulations, for selling your house. He said, well, I haven't even put it on the market yet. Well, you listed with North of Realty. It's going to be sold in 1 week, 1 week. So congratulations. So it's just that's that kind of energy, excitement, and energy, and that's what video does for you. But yes, make it fun, entertainment, and educational. Educational and entertainment is what people are looking for right now, and that's why they tune into these videos. I mean, I've jumped into a pool with my suit on. I don't care, whatever it takes to have fun in real estate is kind of cool. So great answers, guys. This is just, I know our audience is absolutely adoring everything you got to say, and we're going to move on to this next one in a second. It's just, it's the technology world. That's why I have an IT department to do this. That's the thing. Have other people that do things better than you, right? That's what I say. So hold on here, and let me get this to the next slide. Hold on. Let me do that. There we go. Next slide here. Hold on. There we go. All right. So next one. So you guys, first of all, everything you guys have answered has been fabulous. And so here we are about, have you thought of your value proposition? I think now even more than ever in this last 2 years, whoops, went back, sorry. And first of all, value propositions have become so much more valuable, kind of interesting, but because people want to know, sort of who you are, why use you, and if so, how have you communicated that to your sphere of influence? I mean, what is your value proposition? Love to hear it. How have you communicated your sphere of influence? And along with that lines, do you have a current resume or written testimonials that you share with your sphere of influences? Love to hear from that there in general. I'm going to just, just start with Dawn. Dawn, talk to me. Kick us off here.
Well, for me personally, I just look at what my skill set is. So I'm a real estate appraiser. So I bring the the valuation thing to the table. But let's say you're not an appraiser, then what you can do is partner with an appraiser and bring the valuation to the table. You can also learn about that. You want to let people know what your value proposition is, but you want to do it without being like, I don't know, pushy and salesy in a way. What you really want to do is just talk to them and find out what their needs are. And you might have the skill set for that. But here's one thing I always do, especially like when I'm working with any clients at all. I always make sure that I represent them. And I let them know that one of my biggest skill sets that I do is representation, because that's what we do for a living. We represent our clients and in their best interest, not ours. And I always say that because a lot of agents, they think that they just sell houses or that they market property, and they don't do either one of those things, or they shouldn't. I mean, houses sell themselves, right? You represent a client so that they don't get hurt in the transaction, so that they walk away with the most money. That's how you earn your commission. And so that is the biggest value proposition that realtors have. And that needs to be communicated to everybody every day. And maybe not said out loud all the time, but caring about somebody and caring about their bottom line and caring about getting them to the table and how they're going to get out of their house and how they're going to pack and how they're going to move and how their kids are going to take the move, and all of those things are part of the value proposition of caring about your client and doing right by them.
Everybody, every day, so well said. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Michael, you want to jump on this?
So I'd say that you basically, yes, you should have a resume. You should be able to show to your customers why you're a better agent than other agents in the area. That comes from experience. That also comes from the presentation of your materials. Just, do you bring a black and white copy, or do you go get a crisp, fresh color copy of a flyer that you're trying to show them? Do you have a name badge? Is your car look presentable? I mean, it used to be everybody would care about their car and drive Cadillacs if you were a real estate agent. I think we've got away from that. I drive a big Jeep that's got my company all on the side. You can't miss me going down the street. But that's important to have that resume. Google reviews are, I think, one of the best ways to get testimonials, because people believe them. Anybody can create a website and put reviews up. And I think that's kind of self-boasting. I call it spotlighting. Spotlighting is not a good thing to do. People don't care about you so much. It's what are you doing for them? They don't necessarily, you see Facebook is just filled with real estate agents promoting their newest sale or their newest listing or whatever it may be. And that's important some, but what is it that I can do for the customer? Our mantra is easy. It's real estate, real simple. That's my tagline for my company.
I like
and
it.
I tell my agents, simple for our customers, extremely difficult for us. Because in order to make it simple for them, we have to work very, very hard and be the best expert agents in our industry. So we spend a lot of time on training, a lot of time on education, a lot of time on just the normal everyday things that we do to make our customers have a simple experience, because that's really everybody wants. Especially when you're competing with the iBuyers in this market and the investors. People don't want to be bothered by all of the mundane stuff that goes into selling a house or buying a house now. So we have to do that. So you have to have a tagline. If you don't have a tagline, you don't have something that your 30-second elevator speech, they're gone. They're not going to leave. I think, what is it? You got like 1 second now on video on TikTok, or if you're flicking through it and they don't like it within 1 second, it's gone.
All right.
I guess it's like we need a real estate app that's for dating. That's for dating your real estate agent, that you could flip left and right for the agent.
Match.com.
That's about what it feels like.
Yes.
So
real estate, real simple. Love it. Straight to the point. Love it. Shannon, you want to follow up on any of that?
I think that both Don and Michael have sort of covered off all the points that I would have made as well. It's about staying in front of agents, and from an exact contact perspective, we're helping agents stay in front of their clients. So again, just having the right things in place, the right tools in place that make it easier for the agent. Because like you said, Michael, it's not easy to make it easy for your client. So our job is to try to make it easier for real estate agents to stand out in that way to their clients.
I love it very, very much. And one of the things that I try, we emulate is the Ritz-Carlton, which I saw this once where they actually give the cards to all their employees, and every day they read things. And for this is our card that each of our agents carry in their wallet. It's our mission statement, our values, which is authentic, inclusive, passionate, collaborative, impactful, and vision. And we like to share that with everyone because we're very passionate about that and communicate that to every one of our clients, along with, you mentioned Google. We do Zillow. We're Zillow 5-star Zillow reviews. We're #1 in the nation for that because we believe in that as well. And I think people like to see other people talking about you, which builds credibility to you. So just great stuff. And we're going to go to the last one and talk about, sort of like what is what is the one difference? This is it, that nugget that everybody, great audience today. Thank you guys all for being here on this. Well, and we're going to wrap down here. What is that one difference maker that you would want to share with this audience that dramatically improved your referrals there, whether it be now, whether it be 2 years from now, whatever it is in your career in general? Just love to hear that, Shannon. We're going to start with you first, and then we're going to bring it into the others.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. I think it's consistency. And if you look at like the NAR home seller profile that they do periodically, they ask home sellers like, did you have a great experience with your agent? Yeah. Would you use them again or refer them to a friend? Like 95% of people said yes.
Wow.
And less than 13% actually make the referral when they're pulled and asked again. And it's not for any particular reason other than they forgot their agent's name. Oh. And it's that consistency of follow-up that makes such a huge difference in being able to get that repeat business and the referrals. If they can't remember your name, they can't refer you.
Absolutely.
I love it. That's a very good point. Michael, you want to elaborate? What is your thoughts?
My thought is it's you got to have a CRM. I mean, there's no way you're going to make it in this industry if you don't. You got to have something to help you remind you that you need to touch these people. Just like Shannon's saying, it's a long process. People buy houses every 3, 5, 7 years. You're constantly selling houses and adding people to your pipeline and adding people to your contact database. And if you don't have some kind of system to keep in touch with them, it's your job to make sure they remember you, not the other way around. That's what I tell my agents all the time. Your job to make sure they remember you.
You're supposed to be the memory maker, right? You are. It's you. Accountability mirror. It goes back to you and you only. Love it. Fantastic. Love it there. Dawn, follow up with that.
Learn how to value property and learn how to value it properly.
I like it.
Because I started as an appraiser, that has been the one difference maker in my entire career as a real estate broker. It brings a lot of credibility. Take appraisal classes if you have to. Learn how to fill out appraisal software. Learn how to do adjustments, because ultimately, as I said before, your job is to represent your client and make sure that they don't get hurt. And the way that they get hurt is overpaying for property or selling their property for too little. And if you're an appraiser, you can come at it with an experience of, you know what, this is the most you can get because it's not going to appraise for more, or this is the least you should accept. And I just think that valuation and learning how to value property. Now, not everybody knows how to value property. Not everybody's an appraiser. And it's hard to become an appraiser right now because of the requirements. But it's not hard to hook up with an appraiser and find out, how you can work together or how you can pay them a little bit to help you or on a per deal basis. I know somebody who's a listing agent who, as part of their listing presentation, pays for an appraisal for every person who lists with them, which is actually a really kind of a cool idea because it helps her in two ways. One, it helps her secure the listing. She spends a little bit of money on the appraisal, but it also tells her, hey, if they need financing, it's not going to appraise for more than this. So
Other thing to echo that, phenomenal, is that I believe you must meet the appraisers personally. We're a personable business. We need to meet with them, bring them the information they need. We give them all floor plans. We give them all features. We give them all comparables. We believe in that as well, to your echo. And also, I think your broker should be, to be educating you more. I mean, that's why we have a Northrop U, a whole university dedicated to just training our agents. And to follow up on all of what you guys said is, knowledge is confidence, confidence is trust, trust is sale. And really kind of the theme of what everyone has said today. It's sort of one of my favorite statements out there. And really, I mean, it's been absolutely amazing. If you didn't get something out of this, you're not in real estate is my answer, because you guys are just extraordinary. And then I hear there's a special offer here, right? What is this about, Shannon?
Yeah, so since we're talking about getting more referrals and repeat business, and as Michael, I think it was said earlier, or maybe it was yourself, Craig, the CRM that will work for your business is the one you will use. We've got an extended 60-day free trial offer of the Exact Contact CRM. So if you don't have a CRM today, get one. Find the one that works for you. If you've got one and you don't feel like it works for you, I encourage you to give Exact Contact a try. It's a 60-day free trial, no obligation.
Excellent. Very good there. And then also understand this video, this webinar will be uploaded, and we will email you a link later on that. There may be some questions and stuff, but I got to tell you, Dawn, Michael, and Shannon, you are real estate rock stars. Absolutely amazing. Was really one of the fastest 1 hours of real estate I've ever been through. So I want to thank all of you guys. And then I don't know if there's something from the chats or any questions we can answer, but if not, we can certainly answer them later as well. In that way there. But any last minute thoughts there, Michael?
Well, I would just say, have a plan, enjoy real estate. It's a great business. It's a tough business right now, but it's a great business. And Dawn alluded to it. We're gonna go like this. This is what real estate does. I don't know that we're ever going back to a normal business ever again. With technology and everything that's happened, we're not going back. But be a leader. Lead the pack. Lead the pack in real estate. Go out and make a name for yourself in your area. You'll have a lovely long career, and it's great. It's fun. We enjoy it.
Be a leader. Leaders are readers. Make it count. One of the new books I'm actually reading right now. Well written. I highly recommend it. There. All right, Shannon. Any last minute thoughts on yours?
Like Michael just said, stand out, do the things that stand out, find the tools and systems to put in place for your business that make it easier for you to stand out. You want to have, as Dawn said, time to have fun in your day. So you don't want to feel like you're grinding, and you should be able to put the right systems and tools in place to make it easy for you to do that.
Make real estate fun again. Dawn, bring us home.
I'm about to throw you guys for a loop. Don't post dumb crap on Facebook. Okay? I have to finish with it, because I see these agents and they're all in these groups and they're putting out this stuff. Keep it to yourself. People can screenshot that. These are your competitors. Stop. First of all, you look inexperienced. You look petty. Don't do it.
I love it. And I always say, don't put anything in writing or anything on posting that you wouldn't want to put on the front page of the Washington Post, right?
That's right.
And I mean, even Facebook's even worse than the Washington Post if you think about it. So, or any of the social media sites. So it's great advice from great rock stars, guys. And I think we are wrapping up there. And unless I don't know how we ultimately deal with the chats, but if there's anything outstanding, I'm sure we can get back to them, because we are just a wrap at 4 o'clock. That was 1 hour of just amazing content, amazing real estate agents, and amazing sponsorship with Exact Contact. I wanted to thank you very much for sponsoring today. It was a true pleasure being with all of you.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Shannon and Michael. It was great talking to you today.
Yes.
Likewise.